Mean is another word for average. So finding the average of a set of numbers. And so I'm going to show you, Mrs. Wharton, I see you on the screen, and I want to check my list of books. And I am speaking, so I'm wondering why I am not on the screen. I don't know what's happening, but okay. And you're muted, I can't hear you. So let me get rid of that. So I can't, unless I have the screen, oh, okay, I just see you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a physical demonstration of what we do when we find the average of a list of numbers. So I'm going to turn my screen this way, and I'm going to ask for some feedback as to, I can't see what's on my screen, and I think it's too dark, so I'm going to switch these around. I'm going to show you 3 stacks of books. Okay. I have this set up and then it was too dark. So, right, so I'm going to turn this around. And I want to know if the 3 stacks show up on the screen. And I can't. So can you see the 3 stacks of books? Give me Mrs. Wharton, give me a yes or no. Okay, great. So here are 3 stacks of books. And when I average, I basically want to just make sure that there's the same number of books in each stack. So I'm just going to shift the books around until they're even. And let's see. There. These are some of my old Nancy Drews. I collect them and I tried to get them to be the same size. So how many books are there now in each stack? Can you guys show me on chat? And how many books in each stack? And I have to move this to see. I can't see there. Okay, 5, right. And how many stacks are there? I'm looking for chat comments. I'm not seeing their responses. Okay, but I'm seeing nodding and so forth. All right, so there's 3 stacks of books and 5 in each stack. Now, I started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 8 here, 4 here, and 3 here. Still 15 books. But in order to spread them out so that there were 5 in each stack, I just averaged out those 3 numbers. So does anybody have any ideas on what if I don't have a stack of books, but I had the number 8 plus 4 plus 3? I had those 3 numbers. How might I get 5? That appears to be the average. Any thoughts on that if I don't actually have a physical stack? I'm going to move this here so I can see. Okay. Let me go to gallery view. Chat. Divide, divide, divide. Okay, so put on chat what you think the procedure is for finding the average of a list of numbers. If you had 8, 4, and 3, add and then divide. Divide. Subtract 3 from 8 and add 1 to 4. A little convoluted there. Add all 3 numbers and you would get 15, then divide. Okay, divide by what? I'm hearing add and divide, so we're almost there. Add all the numbers, then divide by 3. Why 3? Number of stacks. There are 3 stacks. There are 3 stacks. Okay, I'm going to show you another example, and this one is going to be buttons, and I'm going to have to really move the camera, but I'm going to ask you guys to bear with me when I do that. Okay, so I am going to move the camera and I'm going to point it down, and I want you to count how many buttons there are, and I want you to take note of how many stacks of buttons there are. Does everybody understand? Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see the screen, so I'm going to rely on one of you teachers nodding that yes, it's visible. Okay, so I'm moving down and I am trying to get this so that all of the buttons show. Let me move this here. I apologize for this. No. I can't get them all in, so let me move them over. How is that? All right, my apologies, kids. How many buttons are there? Is that easy to tell? How many in each stack? Okay. Are you seeing the correct responses on chat? Great. Now, holding on to this, I am going to work to make sure that I have the same amount in each stack. Would anybody like to predict how many would be in each stack? Okay, I'm seeing the answers. And Mrs. Wharton is nodding. Let's see. There we go. So I've got 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. But once again, if I don't have buttons or other objects, what if I just had these numbers? 4 plus 6 let's see, no. So let me start over. 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1. What if I just had that list of numbers? 6 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1. How would I get 4? Because that's how many ended up in each stack. We know that's the average of that list of numbers, But how would I get that if I didn't have the physical buttons or the physical books to shift and even out? Just add and divide in your head if you can. Add all of them together to get 16, and then you divide 4. And why do you divide by 4? There are 4 stacks. Okay. So what if I just had a random list of numbers? What word could we replace stacks with? I'm going to give you a random numbers. Alex, right on. So in order to find the average of a list of numbers, you add up all the numbers, and then you divide that sum by the number of numbers. So now I'm going to give you a random set. And if you have calculators with you or phones off to the side, I want you to find the average, because there aren't going to be any books and there aren't going to be any buttons. Thank goodness. So here is your list. 7 plus 2 plus 9 plus 4 plus 8 plus 1. I'm going to read them one more time. 7 plus 2 plus 9. Okay. Now, find the average of this list of numbers. We have 9 plus 9. About 5. Okay, guys, you got calculators, don't you? 5.27, or is that a question mark? Here's my point, guys. I couldn't show you with a stack of books, because if I had 16 books, you know, I can't have a third of a book or a half of a button. But many times when you are averaging a list of numbers, you don't get a whole number. You can get a decimal or a fraction. And some of you guys may have already figured, or you may have known, that this is how your grades are averaged out. If you have a long list of 2s and 3s and 4s, what is your final grade? So all of those are added, and then we divide by the number of grades, your average. This is how baseball hitting averages also are figured out. So just know that you may not get a whole number, and that's 100% okay. So after all of that, the moving camera, you add up the numbers and divide by the number of numbers. There we go, Emmanuel. So if it's like this, so Emmanuel's showing you, then oftentimes the instructions will say round off to the nearest 10th or 100th or whatever. Okay? Pardon the moving around of the camera there. Are there any questions? No, nope. Okay. So hopefully it's very clear, and it's quite a simple concept used in real life all the time. Because we hear, no, there aren't any questions, and then sometimes we see confusion on the math. So I really wanted you guys to be very clear on it.